St. Regis has several restaurants from a deli to fine dining, and you are in charge and managing them all. How do you approach these very distinct styles of dining?
Different concepts. So each restaurant have their own concepts. Say for example, L'Orangerie is more into French brasserie style restaurant. Deli is all my pastry teams will create the special cakes, the dessert pastry to display in our cake shops over there. And Pantai Grill is a restaurant nearby beach. Okay, it's a kitchens that don't use any gas. We use all wood fire and charcoal, serving pizza, grills, steaks, tacos. Yeah, and for Kari Putih it's more in fine dining concept. So different concepts, different expectations, and difference of targets with the guests. So the you might be having a sunset in the beach, right? Then you just want to grab very comfort foods, tacos, drink with the cocktails and enjoy the sunset. That is the concept of that restaurant. So based on the concept of the restaurant, I will create the menu. And the inspiration from me always come from the book. Right now I'm doing more into social media to see what are the Nordic people doing that. For me, the trend in Nordic is the inspire for me always. They always create a new trend of the food. Nordics, they always create a new trend of the food. So it apply with the restaurants and the concept of the restaurant as well. It's depend the creativity, how I can twist around the foods and the presentations.
How do you think your essence or persona as a chef shines through in your dishes that you create, and like you said, you get inspiration and then you innovate and then you bring it to life through your chefs?
I go through this by imaginations. When I create menus, every time I will close my eyes and I imagine it. I will imagine the textures, the taste. Eventually, most of my time when I create menu, I don't do any sample or I don't do any tasting. I just close the eyes, imagine the palette, the taste combination, the texture and presentation. I can come up very good imagination if I close my eyes. And
that's your creative process. That's very personal to you.
That is me.
Yeah, wow. You're from Penang. We all know that there's amazing hawker food here. I'm just curious, like as a chef, you talk about the asparagus, like the bitter, the sweet taste, but hawker food is like char kway teow, like Toban Hokkien Mee is like, oh, so delicious, and we don't like have this different, I think, distinct variation of taste in it. Like, what are your thoughts on this as a Penangite who loves your hawker food, but now you are the chefs that have this amazing creation and inspiration? Do you have something to say about that? I'm just curious.
No, for me, Penang hawker food is something you couldn't get in other place. Only in Penang. That's only in Penang. And char kway teow, tuopans, Hokkien Mee, all these things have their own taste, but it was not really promote well. You know, char kway teow, you have very strong smoky taste from the woks. And this smoky taste that is bring the palates out. And what people still remember it because of the smoky taste from the char kway teow. And I did that as well. When I go back home, short plan sleeper, I go and eat char kway teow. Duck egg char kway teow is my famous dish. Yeah. It's not easy for me to get the Penang hawker food into my menu. It's not easy at all. For me, first thing, ingredient sourcings, the techniques. The uncle that's selling the char kway teow, it could be cooking for almost 40 to 50 years.
Sometimes like 60, 70 years, all their life. Yeah.
Some might go to the generations of third generation already. So this is the patience they have. I always respect that. Yeah. Even if the sister is about 80
Sister Karimi?
Yes, correct, you're right.
Yeah.
Because you could just see their patience, even how old are they still cooking that. This is the patience that I always respect as a chef, that they deliver what they feel satisfied. It's not about the part of earning money. It's the satisfaction when you give the people eat the food of yours, right? When they eat it, you feel like it's worth for what I'm doing. Yeah.
Part of your role as the chef is to speak to the restaurant, people who come to the restaurants, your customers, after their meals are completed. How do you navigate that, and why do you think it's important for you to show up and talk to your customers after their meals?
Of course, first they pay for the meal. I have to make sure that the experience is good. It won't be every time perfect for all the meal. Some guests might have different expectations. It was not good, and this is how I want to maintain the relationship with the guests who will come for the meal, because I need to know that is that experience of the meal. Is what they're looking at. Is this, do they enjoy it? Because they might paying 800 ringgit per person to enjoy the meals, and if you're not happy with that, it will give a very bad impression for them. I would rather that in between, after and before, I go and talk to the guests so that I know, is this something they're looking at? Is this not they are looking at? I can twist around. I'm not a stubborn person saying that you have to follow my menu to eat. If not, get out. That might be applying to my French chef last time, but for me, in between, if I know something is going wrong with the food, this is what they're not looking at, I have the chance to twist it back. Say, for example, very simple risotto. Risotto is very common that Italian people would eat it at al dente. And for them, if you cook it 100%, it's not respect to the food. But when it comes to Asian Chinese, if your rice is not cooked, it's totally different story, It's totally different story. And some Chinese, they will prefer al dente risotto. They will prefer because they know what is the food that they're eating, but not ours. So this is just an example that I'm trying to give an example. So in between, if I know something wrong with the food, I can twist it. I'm flexible to twist around, go to their taste. I might be enjoying medium rare beef. Some guests might be medium well or medium. So this is the thing that I can twist around so that when they leave, I just want my guests who come for the restaurant, who they come for it, they feel satisfied, they feel taken care, and they feel worth to come for a meal that is maybe spent for about 500, 600, 800, they feel worth. That is very important to take care. And this is very important. If they feel happy with the meal, they will come back again.